When I first came out of the closet, that's the MS closet by the way, it was a strange yet liberating experience. Up until that point, nobody really knew I had multiple sclerosis, apart from healthcare professionals, close family and friends, and my manager at work. And at the time I worked in a supermarket as a HR manager with over 700 employees working there. Over the years, I'd come up with all sorts of excuses to hide my MS symptoms, from football injuries to back pain, basically anything that sounded plausible to explain the way I walked, and in the future the reason why I was using a stick. The truth is, I didn't want anyone to know I had MS. Why? At the time, the image of MS was quite negative, to be honest. When I was diagnosed back in 2007, it felt like you only had two real options. You either sat at home and watched TV or went to Switzerland and ended it all. And that's honestly how bleak it was. And I thought, I don't want to be seen in that way. I wanted people to treat me for who I was. If I did a great job of work, I wanted people to say, yeah, Kaz, you've done a great job. Not one of those where they're saying, well, considering he's got MS, he's done a really good job. And if I messed up, then fine, give me a bollocking. I just wanted to be seen in a normal and equal way. Even though I had started to get active within the MS community, I stayed quiet about my diagnosis. It was like I lived two separate lives, my MS life and my non-MS life. And I wasn't quite ready to say, this is me and I have MS. Eventually though, it became too much to hide. My walking got worse, and even with the stick, it was getting obvious that something wasn't right. And one day I just thought, I don't care anymore. If it came up in conversation, I'd mention, yeah, I've got MS. I mean, I wasn't going to shout it from the rooftops or have it tattooed to my forehead, but I wasn't going to hide it either. That was basically the moment that I came out of the MS closet. It was probably about 2 or 3 years after I was diagnosed. As my involvement in MS grew, I started to do more public things, speaking at events, going on the radio, attending meetings, and basically I couldn't hide it any longer. Then in 2010, I started to use a mobility scooter, and at that point there was no hiding it at all. I mean, you can disguise a limb and maybe even a stick, but not a scooter. And I realised MS is part of me. It's not going anywhere, so I might as well own it and live my life. I mean, looking back at coming out of the MS closet, it felt like a huge weight had been lifted. For years I'd carried around this secret, wondering if I should say something or I shouldn't. And yes, it changed my life, both in good ways and in challenging ways as well. But it was absolutely the right decision to make.